As we edge closer to the European Championships, the question on everybody's lips is, can Austria win Euro 2020? In this video, we're going to see just how far they can go in this summer's spectacular. Right, folks, back once again with another video. Today, it's all about Euro 2020 as we take a look at a nation's hopes of the tournament this summer. We'll see just how far they get, of course, in my eyes, when the tournament kicks off in June. We'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, we'll make a shout out to the VIPs, the patrons behind the scenes. Thank you for your continued support. I do appreciate that, guys. And of course, if you want to join yourselves, check out the links down below, patreon.com/. But today, it's all about Austria. That's right, boys and girls, and hopefully by the end of this video we'll be able to answer a couple of questions. Can Austria win Euro 2020, and will they win Euro 2020? Of course, one of these sort of unfancy teams that are kind of going under the radar at the moment, that is Austria. But guess what, they're here on merit, and we'll take a look at how they actually got here right now. Of course, let's take a look at, of course, their record. Of course, they were in Group G, and they actually came through as Group G runners-up behind one of the more fancied nations. Again, a bit of a dark horse themselves. That's Poland. Of course, they finished as runners-up, beating the likes of North Macedonia, Slovenia and Israel to, of course, second billing on this one. And you know, when you look at that group, them six nations, of course, you take Latvia out of the occasion there, or out of the consideration. Those five nations, it's a difficult group. That's a difficult group. It's probably one of the tougher groups, because I think North Macedonia, they're there now anyway. Slovenia could have been there. Israel could have also been there. Austria just about got there as well, losing 3 matches, and we'll take a look where they ranked in amongst the other nations as a whole. But you know, they're there anyway as Group G runners up. They sealed the deal on the 16th of November, and this will be their 3rd Euros. Of course, they were last time around in 2016. They were also there in 2008. Don't know what their best ever performance was. Maybe just a group stage, or I don't know. Nothing of any reckoning. Of course, their manager though is Franco Voda, of course, with Capitano Julian Baumgartlinger. Of course, the key man for me though is David Alaba. Of course, who knows where he's going to go? I think the rumour has it is Real Madrid. Beckons for, of course, the current Bayern centre back, of course. But they also got Marcel Sabitzer from Leipzig, of course. Konrad Lehmer, of course, from also Leipzig. Schlanger as well from Wolfsburg as well. Christian Baumgartner as well, coming from Hoffenheim as well. Some really good midfielders, big boss man midfielders, of course. And that's where all the hard work is done in that midfield engine for the team. What does lack, I think, for Austria is, of course, a striker. They'll be back in Art Snautovic, of course, who's on the books of a Chinese club at the moment, to be their man pulling the strings up top. And, of course, they did rumour. They were looking around Ashley Barnes, of course, Burnley. But guess what? He's shite. Don't even go there. But let's take a look at, of course, their passage. In fact, let's take a look at their record here. Their record here, of course, 19 points out of a possible, 30. How did that rank against the other nations in Europe in the qualifying campaign? Of course, here we go, boys and girls. Where were the Austrians ranked? Of course, in the grand scheme of things, there they are, into 16th. Ahead of the likes of course, Sweden, the Czechs, the Welsh, and of course the Finns, of course, behind the likes of Turkey and Portugal as well. But not too shabby, middle of the road. Can Austria, though, get themselves deep into the latter stages of Euro 2020? Well, let's take a little look then at their group and see what the outlook is. Of course, they are in Group C alongside the Dutch, the Ukrainian, and of course, North Macedonia. When you look at that, first and foremost, you think, you know what, it's not a bad group. You'd fancy Austria to get some points in this one, no questions asked, definitely against North Macedonia. But of course, then you look at the Dutch and of course the Ukraine, there is potential there to also get some points for the Austrians. Of course, their matches look like this, taking on, of course, North Macedonia first, and for me, that is a must-win match. That's their one game that they cannot afford to lose. If they come out of that, losing that, or even drawing it, then I think their hopes to get through to the next stages are over after day one, and that would be absolutely criminal. You wait an extra year because of the COVID to go to the Euros, and then you strip up on day one against North Macedonia. And technically, it will not be over, but still, you've got to really piss against the wind in your next match, taking on the Dutchies, and they'll be on home turf, and then you'll take on the Ukrainians at the end of it in a very, very, even more awkward game. So, must-win game for the Austrians, or at the very, very least, must not lose. But if you do draw it, then I think, North Macedonia will also fancy their chances, because you're really going to be up against it. You really are up against it if you draw this game. So don't draw the game. Don't draw the game. That's my take on this one. Of course, they're currently ranked in the world. That is Austria. Where are they? 23rd in the world. They used to be high as ranked as 10th back in June 2016. But are they realistic contenders for the Euros? It's going to be a bit of a stretch, if I'm honest with you. They will be based, sorry about that, they'll be based in their home country, of course, in Austria, of course, in Seefeld in Tyrol, in the mountain regions. Well, they're all bloody mountain regions over in Austria. Of course, there's a good HQ, of course, Austria right in smack dab in the hub of course, Europe. So good travelling distance for them as they'll move around about, of course, the venues. Of course, what other venues do they have? I'm going to have a quick look at this. They're also playing in Bucharest, not too far away, of course, Holland as well. So yeah, good spot to be having for the Austrians on this one. Let's take a look at the odds then, shall we? Of course, let's take a look at what the bookies think. Of course, can they qualify 11-4 on? Of course, they can qualify. And realistically, they should qualify in this group, especially if you're thinking about the qualifying positions. The top two seals the bloody deal. Of course, third place is in a bit of a lucky dip. And of course, if you're fourth place, you're going home. As for odds to win the bloody thing, 100-1. They are a long shot, a big long shot. But for me, what do I think about Austria? If I'm deep down, of course, I think they've got a really good midfield core. But everything else is a little bit weak. Defense not too great. Attacking very questionable. I don't see many goals in the Austrians. Again, you could get some sneaky bum 1-0 wins in the end, maybe over the likes of Ukraine and again North Macedonia. But that's where I think the difficulty lies. Don't get me wrong though, I do think the Austrians are an awkward team to play against, and they will have their days in the sun and they'll have a good tournament as well. But can they win it realistically? No, I don't think they can. So that will also say they will not win it. So ultimately, that's them out of that. But where do I think the Austrians can finish realistically? Well, my pick is for the second round. I do think they'll get through, whether it is as runners-up or it is as one of those best third-place nations. We'll have to wait and see. In fact, if you want to take a little look, I've done a video myself of the tournaments. I've done the group by groups, and I've done a knockout video, of course, and you'll see who I've got Austria paired up against in those second rounds. Because yeah, once you get out of there, it's anyone's guess, and of course, more than likely waiting for Austria as a runner-up or as a bloody third-place team. It's going to be one of those bigger nations, and I do think that Austria will have little resources when up against the likes of Germany or the likes of France or the likes of Spain, perhaps. So no, they'll find it difficult to get out of that. There you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. If you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions out in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, check out the description. I've got links to my other social media platforms. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitch, and I'm even on Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. Again, we'll be covering the tournament extensively over the summer. Of course, we've got watch-alongs, previews, predictions, of course, all of that stuff, and many more. So make sure you, of course, smash your subscribe. And while you're at it, give the video a big old fat thumbs up. Again, I'll see you all very soon for another one tomorrow. Until then, well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Of course, we'll have exclusive coverage for Euro 2020 over on the channel. Of course, we'll have match previews, match reviews, of course, watch-alongs and all kinds of stuff, including predictions as well. No. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. If you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, check out the description. I'm on Twitter, Twitch. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Of course, if you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions out in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, make sure you check out the description. I've got links to my other social media platforms are on there. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, on Twitch as well. And if you want to check me out at Patreon, you can check that out as well. Also, exclusive and extensive coverage of Euro 2020 this summer on the channel. We'll have, of course, previews. We'll have predictions, of course, watch-alongs as well. And, of course, we might even get a reappearance of Cass, the predicting cat, the real cat, not DigiCass. But, of course, lots of stuff on the channel. So make sure you give the video a big old fat thumbs up while you're at it, and of course make sure you smash the subscribe. Until then, I'll see you all very soon for another one. Until then, I'm out.